So one of the normal ways of thinking about biblical religion is that it draws a line between there's the one true religion and then every other religion is false. Jan Assmann calls that the Mosaic Distinction. It's a distinction sort of symbolized by Moses and his distinction between, solely worshiping the one true God and the other gods are false. Now, that is a intense distinction, and Jan Assmann says that distinction had never really been drawn in world history. And so theologians have, for a long time, wondered about what to do with that distinction. They've tried to soften it and say, but there's maybe truth in all religions as well. And the most famous modern way of dealing with the Mosaic distinction is to entirely erase it and to say, all of these religions are equally false. That's kind of the atheistic solution. The new atheism will tell us, forget all of this because it is all poisonous and violent. And in response, your average religious person has usually said something like, well, it is too mean to draw this distinction between the true and false religions. And maybe what has happened is that all religions since our origins have had a reasonably rational religious impulse towards the one true God. And all religions have sort of offered their sacrifices or had some idea of the one God that stands above all things. That way of thinking usually then says the biblical teaching may just be a fulfillment of all of these other religions, but it speaks too vaguely. What Girard does is he overturns both of these ways of thinking. He overturns the atheistic way of thinking and the common theological reading. First of all, he will agree with some of the religious responses by saying, yeah, humans didn't invent religion. Religion has been with us since our origins, but it hasn't been with us in this vague religious impulse to just worship God as the one source, but that the religious impulse in humanity has always been tied together with its perception of its violence. In other words, there really has been something about religion in our origins that was a misapprehension, that was wrong, that all religions in a way have been nothing but the effect of scapegoating. So in that sense, Girard is like partly agreeing with the atheists too. But what he adds to both of those approaches is he says, but the biblical approach is saying, yes, there is a misapprehension in all of our religious ways of thinking, and we need to exit from them. So Girard has this tension in his thought that isn't just merely opposing all religion the way atheists do, or somehow vaguely embracing them all the way sort of vague theology wants to do. As he says, there really is something wrong about all religions in a way, insofar as they don't come to grips with their scapegoating that's at their heart.